Hello, welcome to the drive-thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Plays YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games. That's what we do here on the drive-thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, is deliver live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Plays. Let's take a peek at who's on the show here for today. All right, with us today, it's Wednesday. We got Mitch with us, Chris Ruffolo, Big Al McMordie, James Clark, Ninos, and we've got Ron Romanelli. Here's our little lineup for this evening. Ninos, McMorty, Clark, Romanelli, Ruffolo, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, Chris, here we go. A lot of excitement this week. We're right into the NBA, flick of the NBA playoffs. Of course, we've got the NHL playoffs here into game twos of some of these series. Edmonton's a team that looks like to get off the mat here. That was a big upset.
It was Mike Smith handing LA that game on a silver platter, but a few shocking results, a few live underdogs coming in after game one. We'll have to see if they can take a 2-0 lead back home, or if maybe it was just a flash in the pan after night one.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Ranger game was very entertaining. It built up to be a really good game, lived up to it. It was an exciting game there, so great excitement here in the NHL Plus, as well as NBA Plus. We'll see if Philadelphia can actually make a showing tonight. Some question marks there with Dallas. They've had struggles against the Suns, so there's a lot of great action. We have actually picks from those games, so stay tuned, guys. Let's go and let's get right to it. Exciting night of action. Let's get the show started. Let's go over to Skype here and welcome Al Ninos. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, where he does fine work up there. He's doing great work up top of leaderboards. Al, what's happening?
Going good. How are you?
Doing great. All right, here we go. 6:45 Eastern Time. We've got the Phillies here to host the Rangers. The Phillies at $1.80. Total sits here at 8.
Yeah, huge favorites. The Phillies are coming into this one, but they are at home. They're technically the better team on paper here. Two pitchers off to pretty rough starts this year. Perez has the better numbers. But I think both lineups they've been hitting well so far this series, and I don't see that changing tonight. You see the wind blowing left to right a little bit, but it isn't too hard or anything, and that will help the lefties out too. So I think we see plenty of runs. We think we start scoring early and keep scoring through the whole game. I think this total's set a little bit way too low, and I'm taking the over in this one.
All right, now Ninos is going to look here at the over in this one. Over 8 with Phillies and Rangers. He did put up some runs last night, but again, I scratch my head when I see Phillies minus 180. It just, to me, doesn't register. They had that good 4-game series against Colorado, but other than that, they have not impressed me at all. And one thing is Zach Wheeler, who's been really, really disappointing this year. 4 starts, he's given up 12 earned runs in 18 in the third innings. He's walking a lot of batters. His huge drop off here in strikeouts. His velocity is down. He's given up 27% line drives.
Yeah, and Perez on the other side, off. I mean, as I said, he does have the better numbers. He's started off pretty rough though, and then he's had a couple good outings now. But again, I don't think he pitches this well for too long. So you see, Phillies. You said big. Sorry, I think that cut me off there real quick. But as I was saying, Phillies huge favorites. It's hard to lay it out with them, but they still have some guys that can hit the ball and hit the ball deep. So I think they do get to Perez a little bit here. I wouldn't go laying minus 180 with them, though. I think the over is at my stronger play here.
All right, now Ninos here. Phillies, Rangers over a total of 8. This one will have a start time here, 6:45 in MLB Extra Innings channel. All right, now let's take a look over at Pick Dog Spring, where you've been doing fantastic work here. Look at these numbers here: 2,562 units of profit for the NHL. That is all documented right in the heart of the playoffs right now. Also showing great profit here from MLB, over 1,700 units of profit in MLB as well. So El Nino is doing great work. Just take a look at this year, last 30 days, past 7 days, yesterday. Fantastic work up there. All right, now we've got still 7 games in MLB in prime time. Let's a couple of NBA, 4 NHL. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, I have 3-pack in the MLB. I got my best bet in the NBA as well. And then if you want to grab my best playoff bet of the night, you got to get one of those long-term passes or get the 2-for-1 capper specials.
Let's try to get on board here with El Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. The numbers there speak for themselves. 2,560 units of profit. Of course, Also showing great profit in MLB. You can verify those numbers by going to his profile page, going down to pick history. You'll be able to see every play there. It's documented. Of course, tonight, as Al was mentioned, he's got plays up there. He's got individual plays here from Major League Baseball, the NBA, and then, of course, a 3-pack from Major League Baseball. Get on board with those. Of course, you can go with the long-term passes from Al. He's got a 3, 7, or 3rd-day all-sports pass. You get all of his plays for that period of time. You select when you go to his profile page and make that purchase. If you're looking for seasons, well, he's got an NBA playoff pass, an MLB season pass up there, affordably priced up there when you go over to Pick Dogs and pick up one of those passes. And, of course, if you prefer the long-term 3, 7, and 30-day pass, you can add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. Al, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll talk again tomorrow. But I know you also contribute to the Puck and Crazy show.
That's right. I also gave out another NHL pick on there today, so make sure you tune into those 3:30 Eastern every day, especially now during the playoffs. There's some great games being played, and should be back on tomorrow as well, so check that out, 3:30 Eastern.
Yeah, you want to get Al's play there over at the Puck and Crazy show. You can watch the replay now up there. All right, Al, have a great night. We'll talk again with you tomorrow.
All right, have a good one tonight.
You got it. Al Ninos here on The Drive Thru. Let's continue on here, joined by Chris. And I just remind you guys, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Free picks every single day. Of course, it all gets started with that morning show, 10 a.m. Eastern time. You've got Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. And that's followed up with Mitch and Joe Madden as they have their sports betting pick show. Also, a lot of talk about the industry. They look for the public phase, the trends out there, a little bit of betting tools conversation as well. 3 shows preceding ours. So you've got the Puck and Crazy show with Joe Madden, Gore and Soccer show. Of course, Mitch has a betting tools show. He generates picks leading up to us at 6 Eastern time here with the drive-thru. Also on Wednesday nights at 7 following us, we have the MMA show. So there's a lot more content here coming over to Pick Dog. So make sure you like and subscribe. Of course, we always ask for the audience participation here, not only in the chat room with their picks and conversations and those likes. So thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it.
Oh, for sure. We appreciate each and every one of them because at the end of the day, without everyone's love and support, Pick Dogs wouldn't have gotten to where it is today, especially on the YouTube channel. So, guys, keep those likes, those thumbs up coming in because, like Tony said, we appreciate each and every single one of them. And to show you how much we appreciate it, we'll do a like goal today. 150 likes. I've got a couple plays for you guys tonight. I've got an MLB home run prop as well as some player props from the NBA and NHL. So, if we can get to 150 likes, we'll get you those props during the recap.
All right, let's keep those thumbs up coming in. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's go ahead and welcome him, Big Al McMorty. You'll see him at top of the leaderboards, having a fantastic 2022. Let's get him in right now. Big Al McMorty. I think we got him ready to roll here. Big Al, how you doing?
Pretty good. No complaints. How are you guys doing?
Doing great. Doing great. All right, here we go. NHL Stanley Cup playoffs here, 7 Eastern time over on ESPN. Hurricanes here hosting the Bruins. Hurricanes laying $1.20, total 5.5.
Yeah, you know, this is one of those don't make sense plays, I suppose. If you take a look at how these two teams have done in the 4 meetings thus far this season, it's been a complete domination by the Carolina Hurricanes. They're 4-0 this season against the Boston Bruins, and they've outscored the Bruins by an aggregate of 21 goals to 2. That, you know, is the game on Monday night where it was 5-1. Before that, it was 6-0, then 7-1, then 3-0. So it does not get much more one-sided than that, but I do think there's room for optimism for the Boston Bruins in this game too. And, you know, they can also draw confidence from the fact that they eliminated Carolina in last year's playoffs 4-1. So I think they're probably taking this season's results with a grain of salt. But the Bruins actually outshot the Hurricanes in that game, 136-25, and the high danger chances were also level. They were 11 apiece. You know, Carolina did win the game 5-1, but 2 of those goals were in the final 3 minutes and 1 second. So it was a fairly close game going into that last 3 minutes. And I just like Boston here at this price. You know, you can get Boston at plus $1.10 right now. Frederik Andersen, of course, is still out for the Hurricanes. And with Boston's veteran lineup, you know, I think they've got a hell of a shot to even the series at 1 game apiece and take it back to Beantown.
All right, Big Al says take Boston Bruins plus 100 against this Carolina Hurricanes team. That is, Chris, as you look at the numbers here, they performed very well during the regular season defensively and on the power and the penalty kill.
Yeah, they have. But I think that this is just a spot. I'm with Al here. Everybody who saw our drive-through a few days ago knows I still think Boston wins this series even after a rough game 1. And just mainly because they're built for playoff hockey. Their style, their physical play is more than what I think Carolina will be accustomed to. And I think Carolina is they're due for a loss. I hate using the word they're due, but I think Boston is primed and ready for a bounce back here.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and then even going, Boston did lose its last regular season game to Toronto 5-2, and Boston's 15-2 this season off back-to-back losses. As Chris mentioned, Carolina's red hot. Some might think they're due for a loss after 7 straight wins. I just think it's a really, really, really good setup right now for Boston in this game too.
And Boston also put great defenses ever during the regular season here. Bruins plus 100 against Carolina. This one will have a start time here, 7 p.m. Eastern time. This is the featured game on ESPN. All right, Big Al, let's go over at Pick Dogs Premium where we got great numbers here.
Why is Toronto, Tampa Bay not the featured game? This is back-to-back nights that Tampa Bay, Toronto is on ESPN2, and they're putting Boston, Carolina on ESPN. I mean, what's going on there?
The Toronto audience don't get it on ESPN. The Toronto audience, the Canadian audience, they only get half the audience.
So you answered the question because I couldn't figure that out.
That's why you see the Raptors on NBA TV a lot, because they don't feature those games in Canada. They have their own little contracts. I don't know. I don't think it's maybe TSN. It used to be CBC, but I think it's a different network that'll be carrying those games. So that's why ESPN features it. All right, Big Al, doing great work here in 2022, 2,532 units of profit for the season, all sports combined, but also when you look at the individual sports, doing great work here in MLB. Of course, we've got still about 7 games left in prime time tonight for Major League Baseball, with the game starting here very shortly, as well as those 2 NBA games, those 4 hockey games. What do you have going on over at the site?
Well, I've got 2 hockey games tonight. We're off to a nice start in the playoffs. In fact, I had my biggest hockey wager of my entire life a couple nights ago on the Toronto Maple Leafs. That was the biggest play I've had this season, but really the biggest play I've had in my life for one game. I know I exchanged some messages with Chris about that game. So I've got 2 plays in hockey tonight. I've got 1 play in baseball, and I've got 1 play in the NBA. We're 46-26 our last 72 in basketball. We are 10-1 our last 11 in hockey, and 30. If I can do some quick math, I can't. 30. I think 33-16 our last 49 in baseball. So folks can join at pickdogs.com, teaming up with one of the other champion handicappers here on the 2-for-1 handicapper special. Best bet, of course, is for a week or for a month. Best value.
That's right, guys. Got over with Big Al McMorty over at Pick Dogs. Go ahead.
I also posted my Kentucky Derby selection. Last year, I cashed Mandaloon. I think it was a 20-1 shot. We had it across the board. He technically he won the race, but he finished second on the track because the horse that finished first got disqualified because of illegal substances. But $100 across the board wager last year paid $1,520. So a lot of us made a nice profit there. And I've got some winning info for this year's Kentucky Derby. It's up at Pick Dogs right now. I've cashed 10 out of the last 23 Triple Crown races, so a lot of success at the track.
That's right, guys. Got over with Big Al McMorty over at Pick Dogs. You see the numbers there. Fantastic work here. He does. Big Al has his Kentucky Derby winner up there. Cashed with Mandolin last year, as you mentioned. NBA playoff pick up there as well. A lot of individual plays here from Big Al from the NHL, NBA. Of course, good time to get on board with those long-term passes, that 3, 7, or 30-hour sports pass. You get that 7-day sports pass. You get all of Big Al's plays for 7 days. That would include NBA playoffs, his NHL playoffs, MLB, and of course the Kentucky Derby selection that would fit into that 7-day sports pass. When you do that, you can also add a second capper with that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Be back tomorrow. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Big Al McMorty here on the Drive to. Let's continue on with Chris. Chris, where do we sit here with our like goal?
I'm talking about 26 likes right now, 80 people watching. So we're trying to get the butts in the seats, but still we have a little bit of time to get our like goal. 150 gets you 3 player props for tonight, an MLB home run prop, as well as an NBA player prop and an NHL goal scorer prop. So keep those likes coming in. We're at 26. We need to get to 150.
We get to 150. Keep the likes coming in. Let's bring him in. James Clark, you'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Top of leaderboards in the NBA this year. James, what's happening?
Not much, guys. How are y'all tonight?
Doing great. All right, here we go. NBA 10 Eastern Time. TNT will feature this one. Suns here to host the Mavericks. The Suns laying 6, total 216.5.
Yeah, guys, you look at this game. I'm looking at the total in this game. Last game, total was at 220. And it went over by 15 points, and here they are. They dropped it down 3.5, almost 4 points here, and I don't understand it. I know the second game, they're figuring out defenses or whatever, but the Suns has they can't stop Luka. I mean, and then the Mavs D, they're not going to stop the Suns. So I'm massive in the series, and especially in this game, 2-16. I think it's a gimme, guys. I think we get over here 225. Last game went is 114, 121. So I really like this over in this game here, guys.
All right, we got James Clark here on the over. This one over 216 Suns and Mavericks. All right, Chris. So when you look at the Suns, man, it's just a challenge here for Dallas to defend. When you got Crowder and Ayton down low, then you got to deal with Booker and Paul. That's tough defensively here for the Mavericks.
Yeah, and it says something, like, it says a lot when Luka Doncic goes 16 of 39 from behind. The Mavs as a team goes 16 of 39 from 3-point range. You still find yourself down 20 to the Suns. I think it's just a bit of an uphill battle. I hope the Suns can be, the Mavs can be a little bit more competitive tonight just to make this a series. But I'm looking at Phoenix's team total over. I think they keep the offensive onslaught going here and force the Mavs to keep pace.
All right, Chris, looking at the team total Phoenix. Of course, we got James here, Suns, Dallas, over total of 216. This one will have a start time of 10 Eastern time over on TNT. All right, James, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium here for tonight. Number one in the NBA this year, 2,173 units of profit, showing great profit for this year. The last 30 days, coming off a winning day yesterday. James Clark also showing profit here in the NBA. All right, here we go. 2 big games from the NBA. We also have 7 in primetime from baseball. For hockey, what do you have going on over the site?
Well, guys, I'm 1 out away from catching one of my my first 10-star MLB play earlier today. So if you got that, we're getting ready to cash. We need one more out. I had the Rays. I also got a 3-pack going on, guys. I got both NBA plays and one MLB play that I really love, guys. Hop on it. Been hot here lately in the NBA. Coming off of a losing night last night, the Blue Jays killed us. But we hop back on it. Usually after a losing day, next day, watch out. It's usually a 3-0 day, and that's today, guys. So grab this 3-pack, and if we go 3-0, upgrade 3, 7, or 30 days, guys. Or like I say every time I'm on the show, we got the best cappers in the world, and we do by far. So team me up with any of them. We'll put some money in your pockets, fellas.
So I put money in your pocket with James Clark over at Pick Dogs. You see the numbers here: 2,173 units of profit NBA. That is all documented. Of course, James Clark. Tonight, up at the board, a 3-pack. It combines NBA and MLB best bets together in a 3-pack, where you can get on board longer term with James. The 3, 7, or 30 hour sports pass you see there will get you all of James' plays for that period of time you select. When you go to his profile page and you make that purchase, a lot of individual plays there from James. Also, you can finish the season out with the NBA with James with an NBA playoff pass up there. But again, that long-term pass is the way to go over at Pick Dogs and at that second capper for even greater value. James, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll talk with you a little bit later here on the recap.
All righty, guys. Hit that thumbs up, guys, because, we like him trying to get to that light goal. So I may scrounge around, either have a home run play or a NBA prop. I'll have one or the other. So let's hit that thumbs up, and let's get that light goal tonight, guys.
All right, as James is splashing the pot, we hit the like goal. All right, James, we'll talk to you in a little bit. James Clark here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on here with Chris. Chris, where do we sit here with the like goal?
Well, we're at 42 likes right now, 87 people watching. So, again, we're not at that point where if everybody that was watching clicked the like button, we'd be at our goal. But, again, we're getting there. So keep those likes coming in. We get to 150. We're going to get you guys a bunch of player props for tonight's action during the recap, but we need about 107 more to get there.
Let's go. Keep these thumbs up coming in. Let's bring in Ron Romanelli. You'll see him top leaderboards in MLB. It's a great video every day with that rundown. Run, what's happening?
Hey, Tony and Chris, how you guys doing? I've missed you guys. Haven't been on the drive-thru in a little while.
Yes, I missed you. But now we're ready to roll here. Tonight, 7:40 Eastern time. We've got the Cubs here to host the White Sox. Cubs, $1.40. Total sits at 7.
Yeah, I'm looking at this game more in the first 5 innings. I think there is some value with the Cubs here as the dog in the first 5. Lucas Giolito and Kyle Hendricks, the starters here. Giolito's off to a strong start to the year, but he's still not that ace or that stopper that the White Sox really hoped he MVP. And, he's had issues with the walks and the home runs this season. 3.86 walks per nine, 1.29 homers per nine. The home runs per nine, not too bad. But like I said, not ace quality numbers. And when you look at his advanced analytics, he's in the bottom 35th percentile in average exit velocity, hard hit percentage, and barrel percentage. So teams are making hard contact on Giolito this year. I do worry about that in this spot. Well, on the other side, Kyle Hendricks, you got to look at his road and home splits. It's really told the whole story of his season this year. 5.47 ERA overall, but when you look at his road starts, he's had 2 road outings. He pitched against the Pirates on the 13th of April, gave up 6 earned runs in 3 2/3 innings. Against the Brewers in his last start on the road on April 29th, gave up 6 earned runs, 3 home runs in 4 1/3 innings. But at home, it's been a completely different story. He's pitched 16 2/3 innings at Wrigley Field this year. He's got a 1.62 ERA. His last start at home was back on April 23rd against the Pirates, who he struggled against on the road. He had 7 innings of shutout baseball and a 21-0 Cubs win. So he has been very sharp at Wrigley Field, which is what we're used to seeing from him last year. Wasn't the case at Wrigley, but he is a Wrigley Field pitcher through and through. The wind is going to be blowing in for him, so it's going to help him as he's a pitch-to-contact guy. And the White Sox have really struggled against righties this year. They're 29th in baseball right now in team OPS against right-handed pitching with a 575 team OPS. That's not going to get it done, and it's not going to make me want to lay a price like that on the road here. I know the White Sox have really dominated this season series, but I do think that the Cubs are able to compete, at least in the first 5 innings. Don't love their bullpen situation, but I'll take Chicago Cubs getting the half a run in the first 5 innings.
All right, we got Romanelli here with the Cubs here, plus half a run here, first 5 against the White Sox. All right, Chris, here we got the Giolito and Hendricks matchup in the first 5.
Yeah, and I think I was looking at the first 5 under here because, like Rod said, the splits for Hendricks home and away are the difference here. I mean, Hendricks did struggle against the White Sox last season, but the start where he gave up 8 runs in 4.2 innings came at Guaranteed Rate Field. When he was at Wrigley, he only gave up 2 runs over 6 innings, so he's capable of keeping the damage to a minimum. And I think this is going to be a bit of a pitcher's duel through the first 5. Full game, we may have to talk about that a little later on, but first 5, I like the under.
All right, first 5 of the under. Let's just want to take a look here to see if we got a weather here. It looks like 47 degrees, wind 8 miles per hour in is what it says there. So there you go with the weather on this one. Cubs first 5 innings plus half run plus 123 against the White Sox. This one will have a start time here of 7:40 Eastern time. You can watch it over on MLB Extreme Channel. All right, Ron, let's take a look over at Pick Dog. We sit in the top of the boards here in MLB. Great start to the season. Last 30 days, 1,517 units of profit. That is all documented. Also showing great profit here for the past 30 days. MLB is producing actually 1322. This is the numbers you're seeing up here for all sports combined. Of course, we still have 7 on the board here from Major League Baseball in primetime. Those 2 NBA playoff games, 4 from the ice in the NHL playoffs. What do you have going on over at the site?
Yeah, we're off to a real strong start in the baseball season. We couldn't get our best bet winner this afternoon, unfortunately, but still hitting 60% on those MLB best bets. Those are the plays I've really focused on lately. They're $15 guaranteed play, so you can check that out for tomorrow and every day going forward. But right now, for tonight's games, I do have my MLB value shot. It's a plus money play that I really like in the MLB, and you can find that at Pick Dogs Premium, $29.95. Check out my long-term plans to get every play I release. My MLB season pass is still up there to get every baseball pick I put up there. So, yeah, just looking to keep rolling in baseball and keep turning a profit.
Yeah, turn a profit here with Ron Romanelli over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the numbers here. 1,517 units of profit last 30 days, having a fantastic season in baseball this year, over 1,300 units. It's all documented, so you can visit Ron's profile page, go down to pick history. Everything's there for you to see, graded immediately. Tonight, as Ron was mentioning, he's got a single play up there called the value shot from MLB on the board. Of course, you go long term is your best value there. He has that 3, 7, or 30 sports pass. You get all of his plays here, and he's got his MLB, NHL, as well as NBA for that period of time you select for 30 days. And of course, you can add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion, even greater value. If you want to take advantage here of Ron's success here in MLB, get the all access season pass for Major League Baseball. Every single baseball play he releases from now until they crown a World Series champion. So we're going right into the end of October. We're looking at 6 months, a little less than 6 months left of premium picks here from Ron over at Pick Dogs Premium for Major League Baseball. It's a long season, Major League Baseball is, and we just barely started. Okay, this also includes the postseason when you get that MLB all-season pass, very affordably priced, just $500 there for about 6 months of premium picks here from from Ron in Major League Baseball. It amounts to maybe $80 a month. That's pretty good value there, about $3 a day. So get on board there with Ron. All right, Ron, it's always great having you show. Continued success. We'll talk with you again next week. But I know you contribute also on the weekend shows and with your MLB rundown video every day.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I'm really focusing on baseball. You got a long way to go. Maybe I'm ready to retire a little early, but no, I'm really enjoying the baseball this season, the Ron's Rundown videos. And yeah, I'll be on the weekend shows and a lot of good cappers on those shows and the roundtable format that we're doing lately. So check those out.
Yeah, check them out. All right, Ron, continue that success, and we'll talk with you again next week.
All righty, guys. Good luck.
You got it. Ron Romanelli here on The Drive Thru. Let's continue on with Chris. Chris, where do we sit now with our like goal?
Well, Tony, we're at 63 likes right now, 122 people watching. So again, we can't say that if everybody clicked the like button, we'd be at our goal, but we would get pretty close. So keep those likes coming in. We can get 150 likes. We've got a bunch of player props coming at you during the recap. Tons of money on the board to be made tonight, and we'll get you those plays during the recap.
All right, keep those likes, those thumbs up coming in. And now it's time for Chris, front and center. Looks like it's up on Chris. Yep, we got everybody. Didn't miss anyone. All right, here we go. Heat, and we're getting bigger lineups now, so I got to keep an eye on the card. Here we go. Heat and 76ers here, 7:30 Eastern time. The Heat laying 8, total 208.
Yeah, Tony, you really saw, what Philly had to try to adjust to without Joel Embiid in the lineup in Game 1. Only put up 92 points in that game, and it kind of just felt like, there was some points that were still left on the floor that really the Sixers could have picked up. I do expect a bit of regression here on both sides in Game 2. We always talk about Game 2 being the adjustment game. We also got to, see the fact that, Tyrese Maxey shot just 40%. James Harden continuing the concert tour shot chart, just 5 of 13. And I think that we're going to see some improved shooting from the Sixers here. But I also expect some improvement from the Heat as well. The Heat absolutely controlled that game, and that was even with Jimmy Butler shooting just 31.3% from the floor. He only had 15 points, and as a team, Miami shot just 9 of 36 from three-point range. I don't think this is a sustainable number. I think we're going to see some positive regression from both teams here. I love the over 207.5 in this one. I think we're at least getting into the 215 to 220 range at the very least in this one, so give me the over 207.5.
Over 207.5, do your shopping, get the best number here. Yeah, I mean, it was just bad shooting on both ends. I mean, that second half, it's just Philadelphia couldn't make it the thing. And again, they just go 6 of 34 from 3. The 76ers do have a really core of really good shooters with experience. So this stage shouldn't be too big for them.
No, and I think we're going to see the Sixers that you saw in that Game 6 against the Raptors, where guys were just shooting with confidence. And I'm not saying it's going to be enough for the Sixers to get the win here, but I think once you start seeing a couple of shots go through for the Sixers, the offensive consistency is going to come back to the Sixers. Again, we also talk about how well the Heat are playing. I mean, the Heat absolutely took it to the Hawks in that first round series, and while they're a solid team defensively, can't stop everything. And I think that this is just going to be a game that, like I said, we're going to see both teams get well into the hundreds, and again, over 208 shouldn't be much of a chore here for a game I think gets closer to 220 than 208.
All right, Chris says Heat 76ers over a total of 208. This one will have a start time of 7:30 Eastern time over on TNT. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium here for tonight. Well, good action tonight on the board. Still 7 games in Major League Baseball prime time here, as well as 2 from the NBA. 4 on the ice. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, I got a couple things going on. I got a 5-pack, my hoops, home runs, and hockey 5-pack. Then I got 2 MLB plays, 2 NHL plays, and an NBA play that I love on the board. If you want just the NBA play, I'm selling that solo for $29.95 or the 5-pack for $49.95. Or we always talk about the long term, but we talk about it for a reason. It's because it's some of your best value. The 3-day will get you all of tonight's plays, as well as a couple of bonus plays that didn't make the 5-pack, but I still love them just the same. And the 7-day, well, that'll get you well into the NHL, the first round of the NHL playoffs, into the bulk of the second round of the NBA playoffs, as well as MLB. Same thing for the 30-day pass, which will get you deeper into the postseason. The year gets you full seasons of all the major sports for around $100 a month. You pair me up with one of the other great cappers here on the show, which is part of the 2-for-1 capper deal. Still got my MLB season pass up there, my NBA playoff pass. Tons of options for you guys. Just go over and check them out. I can promise you at Pick Dogs Premium, you won't regret it.
That's right, guys. Got on board with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. Tonight he put together a 5-pack, hoops, homers, and hockey, all his 5 best bets put together from these sports in a 5-pack, as well as individual plays here from the NBA. So a good time to get on board with Chris. You want to try him out here. He does have a 3-day all sports pass, 3 days of plays here for Chris. Roughly about 33 a day here when you go with that plan there. Of course, you can go longer, 7 or a 1 month all sports pass from Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. If you're looking for just individual sports, seasonal sports, he does have his NBA playoff posterizer pass, the remainder of the playoffs from the NBA up there, as well as an MLB season pass still available from Chris over at Pick Dogs Premium. But if you get that 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass, you can add a second capper with the 2-for-1 capper promotion and get even greater value doing that. All right, let's continue on here with the show. Joined by Chris. Now, where do we sit with our like goal?
So we're at 76 likes right now, 122 people watching. So we're just past our halfway point. We need to get to 150 to get you guys all those player props for tonight's action. But we need about 74 more, 125 people watching right now.
All right, keep those thumbs up coming in. It's Wednesday. Let's bring him in. It's Mitch. Mitch, what's happening?
Nothing much. Just ready to rock here and ready for tonight's Game 2 of the Crosstown Classic.
Crosstown Classic, indeed. Here we go, 7:40 Eastern Time. We have the Cubs host the White Sox. The White Sox, $1.40, total of 7.
White Sox just absolutely own the Cubs. It's kind of like Michigan and Michigan State, like Draymond Green used to say. They dislike us. We hate them. And I think that's what the story is here with the White Sox and the Cubs. One is the Southsiders, the working class, the tough guys up against the Northsiders, the yuppies. You know, it's like they would never have like a firework display or anything like that at Wrigley Field after a home run. Just not what they do. Meanwhile, the White Sox, just all the bells, the whistles, the fanfare, all the fun for the fans, and of course, just a way better atmosphere to watch a baseball game than at Wrigley Field, where basically they're just showing you we play in a dump, and charging you more than full price tickets to watch a lousy team. And that's what the Cubs have this year, is a very bad team once again. They started the season to the strong side, but absolutely hideous since then, and we've seen the Cubs basically undressed game after game. Meanwhile, when we look at the Chicago White Sox, this is a team that won their division last year, had an 8-game losing streak about a week ago, but at the same time, you look at the big picture here for the White Sox, they're really not in that bad a shape. And even as a White Sox fan, I was a little worried there when the streak was going on, but when we look at the standings here, it's not like the season's over. They're 4.5 games back. We're only 23 games into the season. And to play that poorly, they get plenty of head-to-head shots against the Twins and other people in the division. Eloy Jimenez, Moncada still on the bench here for the White Sox, and they're going to be plenty good. My guess is they're going to deal for a starting pitcher, but they're not going to need to deal for a starting pitcher tonight. They got Lucas Giolito on the mound, one of the better pitchers on the team, and up against Kyle Hendricks, who got absolutely pasted the last time he saw this White Sox lineup. If it was a fight, they would have stopped it. 7 hits, 8 runs, absolutely murdered by this White Sox lineup, and I expect to see it again. This is one of those series that, the Cubs and the White Sox, rarely do they alternate games. It's never like a win one, lose one type thing. Normally, it's a sweep or close to it, every single time that these teams meet. And when you look at it historically, that is the way that it has gone. We saw the White Sox win last night easy, not playing their best ball, playing in basically about as bad weather as it could go. But when you look at it historically, it has been all White Sox in this series, and I expect tonight to be no different. I'm laying 3.5 runs in this thing with the White Sox on top of just taking the White Sox. I'm taking them money line. I'm taking them -1.5, -2.5, -3.5, and it's not going to take a lot of prodding to get me to 4.5.
There you go, Mitch here with the White Sox here. Alternate run line. Keep an eye on that one as well from Mitch. All right, Chris, looking at the pitching matchups, as Ron said earlier, with Hendricks has put up some good numbers at home, but Giolito, boy, he's been solid here, 38% strikeout rate. And the swing and strike rate really gets my attention. 19, that's elite status here, near the top of baseball at 19.3. When hitters swing and miss, you really get in their heads.
Yeah, Mitch, can I push you to -4.5? Just a little. Just a little. Shove.
Let me see let's see what we can get on it. See how.
I will say, Tony, though, I did like the first 5 innings under, but I do like the full game over. That's what I was getting at earlier. I think that the bullpens could definitely play a factor in the total in this one. And it's not, even with the wind blowing in, you don't see a total of 7 at Wrigley very often. So I think I got to take the over in this one.
Yeah, the question is, how long will Giolito go in this game?
Well, it's not going to matter if Hendricks pitches the way he did last time against the White Sox. So we're only getting plus 530 on the White Sox at minus 4.5, but I still think that there's some value there. Chris, you talked me into it. $200 pays 200 wins 1,060. It didn't take much. It happened that fast.
That'll cover the shot put set for our weekend special.
There you go. There you go. All right, Mitch on the.
I'm really excited for this one, as I am for all Crosstown Classic games. I just love the Crosstown Classic. One of the things I miss most about living in Chicago is not being able to go to the Crosstown Classic games. I was chatting with Romanelli in the side chat when I saw his hideous pick earlier, and I said, I mean, it really was embarrassing. I was embarrassed for him. But what I said to him in the chat was, the last time I even remember being at one where the Cubs won, it was late that the Cubs won. It was Derek Lee put one right in the lap of the person sitting right in front of me, the bleachers, and that's what it took to beat the White Sox. And that's like, you know, that was oh boy, I can't even tell you the name of the pitcher for the White Sox, but that day. But yeah, it happened, and it was one of the games I went to that they lost, but it's a very rare occasion.
Yeah, rare occasion. And of course, Mitch, over at Pick Dogs and the Sports Chat place, we talk about the betting tools. What we look forward to this summer over at the sites.
We got some really exciting things coming up. One of them I can't tell you guys about yet, which I hate being one of those people. I got some really exciting news that I can't tell you about, but you'll know it soon enough. And trust me, it's the biggest thing we've ever done, and it's the biggest thing that's ever been done in the sports betting industry. It's going to be gigantic, mainstream, yet also sports betting stream. So it's going to marry both cultures. We also have, of course, our betting tools continue to roll on. Yesterday, we added DraftKings player props to our player props. So we now have Bet Rivers and DraftKings player props in our player props on our betting tools. So all it means for you guys, number one, DraftKings player props come out before Bet Rivers players props generally. So earlier player props and more player props, because they don't both have exactly the same. So more player props, and we'll continue to add more sports books to it. It's a lot easier said than done. I got to lower my mic. It's just I wanted everyone to see the shirt. But anyways, you know, it's easier said than done. We have a lot of other things going on with the betting tools and some other new and exciting things for everybody. So just make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Every time we have a new addition to the betting tools, I just send out a newsletter and about, you know, what the update is, and I try and walk everyone through it. I send out about 3 other newsletters a week where I try and tell everyone what's going on at the site and just you know, I don't know. I think that's about it.
All right, Mitch, you know, we're looking at some of the top money. I thought this was interesting, looking at the top money producers here in baseball for this year. We know the Mets up here, but the Arizona Diamondbacks, number 2, they have a 12-13 record, plus 500 unit return. And, of course, the Yankees, 18-6, plus 478.
I think we need to, I wasn't on the Diamondbacks today. I was on the wrong side of that 9th inning home run today. I had the Marlins in that one. I just figured the Marlins would be able to salvage one and avoid the sweep because the Marlins were so hot going into this series. But I think that what we need to recognize here is that once again, the public just refusing, to jump on board a team. I had the Diamondbacks in some of the other games, and I had them against the Cardinals and against the Dodgers, of course, because I bet against the Dodgers almost every single game. But the thing is that the beauty of a team like the Diamondbacks is that the public will just refuse and continue to refuse to acknowledge that they're not that they are a relevant team, even though they beat the Dodgers twice, the Cardinals twice, and swept the Marlins, who were the hottest team in baseball going into that series. It's still not going to be good enough to knock the odds into the negative range on the Diamondbacks. So basically, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. And sorry, Chris, I know what that does to you. Didn't mean to get you salivating here, but I'm salivating for the Diamondbacks odds that we're going to be seeing, and I'm also salivating for the odds that we're going to be seeing betting against the New York Yankees in the very near future, because the New York Yankees, they're going to lose 60 games this season. I guarantee you they're going to lose at least 55 games this season. And I'll tell you what, the way things are going, they're going to be back end loaded. And by the time the public catches on to that, well, going to be too late, right?
Phillies
will be all over.
Phillies fourth from the bottom, minus 490 and $100 bets all season. I don't understand these numbers on these Phillies. I mean, some of these lines I've seen on just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I've been fading the Phillies every single game this season so far. They're kind of have kept me alive in things. I have a negative record in baseball this season, but I'm really only down 0.4 units. Like, I'm not showing up on the leaderboards or anything because I still had a really bad 8 days. And but to be down, I have to have a really bad 8 days and be down only 0.4 units. You can have a bad 8 days of baseball, I can knock you out for the season. But I'm down at 0.4, and I wasn't that high up to begin with, so it was like, I'm okay. But really, when all else fails, my Phillies bets, my fading of the Phillies has really been what's carried me through to the other side. Like yesterday, we had the reverse run line against the Phillies, getting plus 213.
Yeah, and that's a team that's been bad. Atlanta, second from the bottom, minus 629.
A little bit of a surprise, but the Braves last year, we have to remember, were horrible the first half of the season. Yeah. Max Fried had like a mid-5 ERA halfway through the season. He finished in the high 2s, I believe. So the Braves are just a second half team, and they got Acuna Jr. On the way, so they're going to only be better.
Looking at this Reds team, it's just sorry, Sack, you're 3-20, minus 1541, and it's going to be tough because now they're going to be big dogs here for a while.
Well, I think I think what the Reds did is they tried to be the Tampa Bay Rays without having the system that the Tampa Bay Rays have. It's like, let's get rid of our 2 all-star players that we have that are going to want more money, Winker and Castellanos, right? Let's get rid of the only 2 all-stars that we have and replace them with nothing, and see what happens. And it's like the Reds, when you play in that type of ballpark, even if you have the pitching, you're going to be in a lot of slugfest. And then the problem there is they don't have the firepower at the bats, and also they don't have any pitching either. It's like, I think San Martin has a high ceiling, but right now he's got a low bottom too, and it's that's more what we're seeing. Maley isn't a bona fide number 1 starter. He's a 4. He's a 4, and he's in pitching out of the 1 spot. It just doesn't work, at the major league level.
No, not at all. And of course, the Dodgers 13-7, but he bet $100 on them the entire season. That's $100 he made.
Yeah, I've done well against the Dodgers. I know I've been absolutely murdered in the YouTube comments for it, but like you said, I haven't been bruised all that bad, and all it's going to take is a couple upsets, to get me there. And we know it's going to happen. We had that minus 385 the other day on Kershaw come crashing down on the Dodgers. All it takes is 1 or 2 of those, and all of a sudden you're minus 600, 700 on the Dodgers just a couple of days. And last year, what we saw, once they dropped to those levels, it was all over but the crying. They never got even close to back to plus money after that. And it happened right around the same time of year.
Top of the board this year so far have been the Mets at 5.
The Mets have been sensational, but as we saw today, Buck Showalter has the ability to manage you right out of a championship, right out of a division. And really, I mean, he managed the Baltimore Orioles, and they don't just give that job to anybody. It's kind of like when Glenn Mason got the head coaching job at Kansas. It was kind of like, well, we know what kind of coach Mason is. It's like they don't just give that Kansas job to any coach. You got to really know how to take some real beatings to get that football coach job. And I think Buck Showalter has shown that he has the ability to lose with some pretty good teams.
No Tatis, the Padres quietly 15-8. Of course, the schedule has been kind of easy here past 3 series here. Our return of 343.
I think the Padres are showing the potential that a lot of people thought they had last year when we bashed them, and I said at the first game of the season, we're going to fade the San Diego Padres every single game. This year they didn't get the publicity that they had the year before, kind of buried in that crowd in the National League West, but definitely still very, very loaded. And if anything, they learned some lessons from last year that they're not going to rely on Danielson, Lamet, and Blake Snell and guys that aren't going to get them across the finish line. Instead, they're going to get some guys in there that can actually log some quality innings. And that's all you have to do when you have a lineup that has these guys in it, because these guys can hit. I mean, everybody on this team can hit. It's like there's nowhere to hide.
Toronto, a big favorite here to get out of the East, to win the AL East. They were huge favorites here to get AL East. 15-10 team, 195 on a $100 bet all season.
After last night, they're dead to me, and it's going to take a while to get back into my good graces. I thought they quit out on the field last night against the Yankees, and I think it was really sad to watch. That one inning just went on and on and on, and I'm surprised that it's over at this point because the Blue Jays just did not look like they wanted to play anymore. We saw two games that had two key errors in them last night. One was the Toronto game. The other was the first inning of the Giants-Dodgers game, and those two key errors were the ball game. But the thing is, at least the Giants, they never feel like they're out of it until the very last batter went down in that Giants game. You kind of thought they maybe had a chance, because they got into that Dodgers bullpen, which is probably the weakest part of the Dodgers team. And for the Blue Jays though, I was really, really surprised that they just laid down like that. I think when the home run off Manoah, that tape measure job, that was pretty much the writing was on the wall right there.
How effective career do you think Manoah can have with his stature? Kind of look like a football player. It's 260 pounds.
He's too fat. He's got to drop some weight there. It's like, I'm not saying that I'm the picture of health or anything, but I'm not a starting number one pitcher in the major leagues either. And I don't have so much riding on me. Obviously, he knows how to do it. We've seen guys that are a little chunky out there get it done, but I think Manoah looks like he even put on more weight since last season. Kind of like Dusty Rhodes, the old wrestler. Somehow he just got bigger and bigger every time we saw him.
Yeah, you start seeing those
like,
little
how
leg
in the
issues.
hell is this guy getting
bigger? With the wear and tear during the season, you always got to worry about that with those big guys. I mean, that's one thing that came to me. When you're built like a football player, it's those lean guys. They seem to have those long careers. Think of the Steve Carltons. Everyone you think of are those lean pitchers that have long tenure in the league.
I'm going to guess that him and Ryu probably hang out a lot and, hit those all-you-can-eat buffets and things like that because Ryu never really the picture of health either.
No, and his numbers have gone south since they gone to Toronto. All right, Mitch, it's always great having you show.
It's like they have some of the best Chinese food in Toronto.
I could just imagine.
Don't ask
Toronto
me about
has fabulous. What is it, Yonge Street? Is that where it all is,
Yonge
Chris?
Street. Well, there's a lot of there's
God.
a lot of shout out to Hong Shing, downtown Toronto.
Oh, there you go.
Man.
Best General Tab ever had.
I'll tell you what, I used to go to Toronto. One of my favorite places was Yitz's Delicatessen. I don't know if it's there, but they had it. Cuban cigars at a delicatessen. You get a knish that knocks your socks off, and you smoke a cohiba to finish it off. It was just fantastic. There's people there like eating these giant Reubens, and then it's like, yeah, I'll take a I'll take a cohiba afterwards. It's like, it was nice. Good times.
Very cool. All right, Mitch, it's always great having you on the show. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you the next week.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Thanks, Tony and Chris, for keeping the drive-through going. This thing is, it's that time of year where it's obviously not as, it's not football season, so we're not going to, but we continue to grind it through. And I think we're going to try some new things here at the drive-through as well, so we'll have to figure them out, what those are going to be. But I think probably time to spice it up a little bit. I think we've tested the product, proven the viability, and now it's time to say, all right, just when everyone's comfortable, mix it up a little bit.
Mix it up a little bit. Sounds great. All right. Awesome, Mitch. Have a great rest of the evening, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Great. Only 5 Major League Baseball games. This is almost like a day off for us, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
And 10 tomorrow.
Thanks,
NBA
everyone.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We only have 10 Major League Baseball games tomorrow. That's it for me. I don't do hockey, so
yeah,
I'm good.
Really good. All right, Mitch. Have a good one.
You too.
Mitch here on the drive-thru. Let's continue on with Chris. Chris, where do we sit with our like goal?
So we're at 127 likes, 200 people watching right now. So we only need 23 more likes to hit our goal. Get you a bunch of player props for tonight's action from the NBA, MLB, NHL. Going to make you some money, but we need 22 more likes to get there.
All right, let's keep those likes coming in. My pick here, Red Sox and the Angels, 7 Eastern time, top of the hour. I'm going to be looking here at the Red Sox here, minus 134 in this one. This Reed Detmer's just not a fan of his. 10 earned runs allowed in 17 and third innings. He's been, in his career, he's been really hurt by the home run. And again, this year, no different. 1.56 home runs per 9 innings. We got Whitlock, 6 appearances, 1 earned run in 16 2/3 innings. A 31% strikeout rate, good control, gets the ground balls at 42%. The Angels just not hitting, shutout in 3 of their past 4. Chris, I'm on the Red Sox in this one.
Yeah, Tony, I was originally on the Angels personally, but that was before the announcement of Reed Detmers as the starter. I don't know how much I'm willing to invest in Garrett Whitlock just yet. If he can show me a couple more good starts, maybe I'll be on his side. But probably a no play for me with the announcement of Detmers as the starter.
Okay, Red Sox minus 134 against the Angels, and this one will have a start time of 7 Eastern time, MLB Extra Innings channels. Guys, I have a 3-pack right now over at Pick Dogs. Check me out there. 2 best bets from baseball, as well as one from the NBA together in a 3-pack. Also, my long-term passes, 3, 7, 30 all sports pass. Get all of my plays for that period of time you select when you go to my profile page and make that purchase. You can also add me to that 2-for-1 cap promotion. Pair me up with Chris, with Mitch, with Ninos, Ron Romanelli, who's been red hot in MLB. We've got James Clark, who's been red hot over in NBA. Big Al McMorty, who's been red hot in overall sports. El Ninos, who's been red hot in NHL. 2-for-1 cap promotion, your best value there at Pick Dogs. Let's continue on here with the show. Now, Chris, where do we sit with our like goal?
So we just passed 150 likes, so thank you guys for helping us reach our goal. We'll get you the plays quickly during the recap.
All right,
we're getting close.
All right, let's get the recap here now, and we've got Al Ninos' pick is gone, started already, but if you want to do in-game, he likes over 8. Al McMorty, Bruins plus 100 against Hurricanes. James Clark, Suns, Mavericks over 216. Ron Romanelli, Cubs first 5-point half a run at plus 123. Chris, Heat 76ers go over 208. Mitch was on White Sox minus 140 against the Cubs. You're truly Red Sox minus 134 against the Angels. We'll start here with Chris. Other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
Well, I've got to go with the Big Al and the Boston Bruins. I still think they're going to win that series, and if they're going to, I think it starts tonight. So give me the Bruins.
The Bruins there. All right, let's go over to James. James, other than your pick, which one do you like the best?
I got to go with Chris here with the Heat and the Sixers over 208. I just look for both teams, to step it up here and knock down some more threes. The Sixers to score a little bit more, and the Heat, their defense, they seen what the Sixers seen what they got going on game 1. I think the Sixers come out and have a little better offense than they did last game.
I like that James pick your Suns Mavs over 216. I just don't believe the Mavericks can defend this Phoenix Suns team. The Suns have owned the Mavericks over the past 9. They're covering 7 of those 9s. All right, we got to our Lyco. Now it's time for Chris with the picks.
I will make it short and sweet. The home run prop for me tonight. Can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with Aaron Judge to hit a home run at plus 325 to plus 360. The bottom line is, take it from a Blue Jays fan, Yusei Kikuchi just hasn't been the starter that many expected that they were going to get when he came to Toronto and signed in the offseason. And in his career against current Yankees, Kikuchi allowing a 356 batting average, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. Judge has hit a homer in 4 of his last 5 games. I got to go with Aaron Judge to hit a home run tonight. Like I said, plus 325 to plus 360 to your shopping. The NBA prop, I'm going to go with Devin Booker over in the assist department tonight. When you play the Dallas Mavericks, and the Dallas Mavericks are going to try to play to their style, they're going to try to swarm the key players on the Heat, force the ball out of guys like Chris Paul and Devin Booker's hands, and force them to make the passes to other guys and force the other guys to beat them. And like Tony mentioned earlier, the Suns have pieces that can do damage. It's not just Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. Devin Booker, he had 8 assists in the last game. I think if you're getting over 3.5 or even over 4.5, I like that number for Devin Booker. And the NHL play tonight, I'm going to go homer pick this time. I'm going to go Austin Matthews as an anytime goal scorer, minus 125, or to score 2 or more at plus 425. Remember, we hit that huge Austin Matthews lottery ticket just a few weeks ago against these same Tampa Bay Lightning. He had 2 goals in game 1. I think he at least gets a goal here. So those are going to be your plays for tonight. Aaron Judge to hit a home run, Devin Booker over in the assists, and Austin Matthews as an anytime goal scorer or to score 2 or more goals.
Yeah, we thank first for those plays. We also thank the audience over there with your contributions. Greatly appreciate that with those likes, those thumbs up, and of course the conversation flowing there in the chat room. That'll do it for this edition of the Drive Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live, 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. Yep. Oh, that's right.
I told him I had to play.
You had to play too. Yes, I can't forget James Clark. That's right. James had to play. Thank you for stopping me there. So let's go ahead and get to James on the full screen here. And let's get James's play here for you as he splashed the pot. He did say that. Let's go ahead and bring him up here. Here we go.
I'm going with Devin Booker, but I'm going with a little different approach. I'm going with Devin Booker to score 30 points, guys. It's plus 265, 270. And if you look, last 16 games, Devin Booker has scored 28, almost 29 points, 12 times in the last 16 games. I look for him to come out here. You know, we've seen what Luka done to him. Even though they won the game. But you know how these NBA players are; they take pride in what other players does against them. So I look for Booker to come out and find his shot early and often. And like I said, for him to get 30 is plus 260, plus 270, and for him to get 35 is plus 520. So you know, look at both of those. But I really think Booker comes out and starts scoring often and early, and I like for him to get 30 points, guys.
All right, there you go. We thank James Clark and for this plays, as well as with Chris. Of course, the chat room out there, thanks for your contribution. That'll do it for this edition here of the Drive-Thru. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live, 6 Eastern Time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in the cappers here from Pick Dogs, give out live free picks for the games in prime time. Of course, it always gets started live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 7 picks in 5 minutes, followed up by a Sports Main show with Joe Madden as they give out free picks here in that morning show. All right, that'll do it for this tonight's show. Let's go ahead and bring in our crew from tonight. Wave good night to everyone. Have yourself a great night.